走。
Hey, I'm Billy. Welcome back to my channel. Today, the four of us, plus our dog, Fluffy, are heading back to our hometown, Puning, in Guangdong.
你才能记得翻走哪边？怎么这才一次？
We're going back to visit my father-in-law. 2 months ago, he had a stroke and was hospitalized. But thankfully, it wasn't too serious. He was in the hospital for about a week and is now recovering at home. It's about 300 kilometers from Dongguan to Puning, so roughly a 3-hour drive. This is Fluffy's first trip back to the hometown with us. And the kids are so excited. They get to play games, shoot hoops, and play chess with their cousins here. Kids' happiness really is that simple. My wife and I went down early for breakfast. Rice noodle rolls, my favorite since I was a kid. Every time I come back to Puning, I have to get these at least once, or it just doesn't feel like I've really been back. My father-in-law's house is old, but still pretty spacious. Every time we visit, I take the kids up to the rooftop to play soccer or basketball. They love it up there. He's been recovering lately, and one thing he's been doing is practicing calligraphy. A lot of people think calligraphy is just about writing neatly, but it's actually recognized by UNESCO as part of China's intangible cultural heritage. There's a real sense of Eastern artistry in every brushstroke. And honestly, it's been really good for his recovery. The slow, deliberate brush movements help with hand-eye coordination, which is great for the stiffness and weakness that often comes after a stroke. Focusing on writing also stimulates the brain, improves circulation, and supports nerve recovery, helping with both mental sharpness and reaction time. It also calms the mood and helps stabilize blood pressure, which lowers the risk of another stroke. It looks quiet and simple, but calligraphy actually carries a lot of power.
好呗。
你们选啊！你们选啊！你们选啊！
In the evening, we took the kids out to browse a toy store and grab some of their favorite food, burgers and Coke. Stuff we don't usually bring home, since my father-in-law doesn't let the kids eat junk food.
跳进去！
要做死的话，平带回去死。
我不作死。
要做死挑战的话，直接回家。
然后录完视频也给他看。
This is his little garden, some flowers and fruit trees. This one's a longan tree, and the fruit is really sweet, really good.
"那是我的家，要回去喽。这样吧，对吧？
怎么还是出了？
我别跳过呀！
不能这样子跳。
红牌，
他肯定不知道。
我正跌跌跳
吃完饭再去。不能这样子吃。
我让你有很多人头了，
我是不是很牛逼？我请你把我一颗吃掉。那我就走这，我这里不。
但是你斜着走，这里被挡住了。
好了没？
好了。
很好，我胜利了。
我要去东莞。比赛都要结束了。那个睡得非常香。
英格兰比。
比。
我可以唱谁？走开！我是你队友！哈哈哈哈哈！偏谁？
进。
哦耶！下不了啊！哦耶！
哪边？
行吧，要去哪？
啊？
去哪呀？
随便。
随便。
This is my old elementary school. I spent all 6 years there. Next to it is our local library, which is a lot smaller compared to the one in Dongguan.
还是走吧。
走吧。
你走上去是走。
楼上啥？
楼上读书啊，没上课。
And there aren't many books either, so not many people come in to read. I guess in a small town like this, people who love reading are pretty rare to begin with. This is my middle school. The gate's been renovated. It used to be a lot more basic, nowhere near this nice.
Go.
会员查询中。
走了，回家。
谢谢惠顾，欢迎下次光临。
走，上。
Papi，我开心啊！落落白汁啊！
My mother-in-law's specialty is making Zongzi. She knew we were heading back to Dongguan, so she got the ingredients ready and packed some for us to take home. Honestly, I really do love Zongzi. In China, eating Zongzi is a dragon boat festival tradition every year, and every region makes them a little differently. I've tried Zongzi from other places too, but comparing them all, Kunings are still my favorite.
来，
跟我开。Hello。
这是什么冰？绿豆啊。
Ours are made with pork, mushrooms, peanuts, red beans, dried radish, minced garlic, and glutinous rice. Picking the ingredients is actually a whole process. Like the pork has to be pork belly, with a good balance of fat and lean meat. That's what gives it real flavor. Once cooked, Zongzi can be stored in the fridge for a long time. Whenever you want one, just reheat it in a pot. Super convenient, kind of like a ready-made meal. That makes it really practical for me. Although I never eat too many at once. 3's my limit. Any more, and I get an upset stomach.
와. Không có tìm được điều apa. Yeah.
Making Zongzi is actually pretty physical work too. Each one has to be tied tightly with string, and you really have to put some muscle into it. If it's not tied tight enough, the Zongzi won't hold together properly once it's cooked, and it might even fall apart. So honestly, all the prep work that goes into it is pretty involved.
然后就把
哇，
哦，下班都架，
哇！
所以買曬都架喎。咁等我導遊啦先。屌，聽唔懂。
妈，妈妈，我们该吗？吃一口，看一下好不好吃。
香不香？
香不香？
香，
香哇！
这个
这个
卖走
等下。
入下面，入下面。
粽子，我喜歡。
下。
哇，今日嗰條冇嘢食。
这里亮晚上枸杞吃。
黃小蓮。
唔干。
靠右行驶。
靠右是吧？
我的唇膏。
好冷啊！
按一下，按一下。